We're here for the second annual breakfast fundraiser for the Mary Parrish Center for Victims of Domestic Violence. And we're here to learn about a wonderful program in our city and our region where survivors can go for help, support, and comfort. The agency, Mary Parrish Center, has served more than 6,000 people in our community over the past 8 years, the vast majority of those being women and children. We're here today to support the agency's vital work, as well as to announce with great pride and excitement that it's expanded to include a transitional housing program for women and children. I visited last week, and I can't begin to tell you enough about the hope, the pride, and the warmth that exists in that very small, tight-knit community. It was a beautiful day. The sun was shining, the autumn leaves were blowing through, the light was perfect filtering through, and it was just a joy to see a piece of property that the city had being put to such tremendous good use. It was the middle of the day and not a lot was going on, but a lot was still going on. Even in the empty apartments, you could feel lives were being changed. And the people that were living in those little units were really blessed to be there. You're about to hear from some of the residents. I don't know that I can do what these women are about to do for us.
When I came to the Mary Parrish Center, my self-esteem was low, I was depressed and scared for my life. You see, I was afraid because at the time, I was aggressively trying to get out of an abusive marriage of 7 years. And because we had 2 young sons, my first son was from a previous relationship, I was afraid that my oldest son, who is now 15, would eventually end up killing my abuser. He told me that if he ever hurt me again, that he would kill him. But no one would take us in or give us a place to live. Since the Mary Parrish Center never gave up on us like other shelters, I knew that I could call on them. I don't know or can't even imagine where we would be if they never accepted me and my children back. Ever since then, we have had a peace of mind and closure. So I would like to say today to please dig deep, very deep, and give as much as you can for women like me. We now live in a safe place that we can call home and not just a house. Thank you for listening and thank you for your time.
I'm a 16 years old survivor from Pakistan. At the age of 14, I was sitting alone in my room completing my homework when my mother came to me and informed me that I would be taking a husband who was 8 years older and he's my first cousin. I looked at her and said okay and continued doing my homework. I did not really understand how my life was about to change. A week later, I was married and left in Pakistan to live with my family and my husband sent for me in the United States. Once I arrived, I found that the promises of a better life were all lies. My mother-in-law became abusive and my husband did nothing to protect me. She used to beat me and I tried to explain to my husband about all that, but he wouldn't listen to me. Once I was crying because of his mother, he grabbed the curtain and wrapped it around my neck and started choking me with it. I got really scared. I got physically and emotionally ill whenever I used to hit by my husband and my mother-in-law. Several times he just watched her slap me and didn't do anything to stop her. They did not let me to talk with my parents. They did not let me to go to school. I fled back to Pakistan and my mother-in-law followed me there and continued to torture me. Once again, I came back to the United States because I feared for my safety. I returned only to find that my husband had taken another wife and was threatening to deport me. This betrayal saddens me as well as left me alone and confusing. Having no place to go, I was giving information about a shelter. While at the shelter, I had the privilege to meet Judd from the Mary Parrish staff. He gave me an application for the transitional housing. I submitted my application and waited for a phone call. The day I received a call for the interview, I was so happy. I'm still in shock that I was fortunate enough to have a safe place. I cannot believe that I have my own first apartment that I'm proud to call my home. My heart is so full that I cannot say enough about the Mary Parrish Center's program, staff, or the participants that now I can call my own family. If I had not received that phone call, I would have been homeless, alone, and unsafe. Now I got a chance of making my dreams a reality and heal myself here in Mary Parrish. I cannot thank Mary Parrish Center enough for being concerned about my well-being and helping me to fulfill the promises of a better life that my husband was not able to provide. After all of my story and current situation, I ask you please, if you can help all of us who are residents of Mary Parrish, shall be really very thankful to you for this act of kindness. Thank you so much.
I want to share part of my life with you. Before I met my abuser, I considered myself to be a dependable, professional, and positive person. He also is a well-known professional businessman and very active in the community, which goes to show you domestic violence doesn't have a name, a face, or even care where you come from. The Mary Parrish Center took over the program. From the first day they arrived, I found my smile. They gave me hope, goals, and a reassurance that I am a person. The Mary Parrish has even helped me understand my choices in life, whether it's resolving past decisions and making future choices. I feel that I have overcome a lot of my distress, and now I'm looking forward to a new start with contentment.
I'm a survivor of physical, mental, and sexual abuse. It all started at the age of 4 when I was sexually abused by a roommate that my mom had at her house. Then it happened again at 11 by my uncle. My mother was an alcoholic. She was always in domestic fights with her many different boyfriends that I had to grow up seeing over and over again. She would physically and mentally abuse me all of the time when she was drunk. I remember her beating me at the age of 11 until my nose bled. She ended up getting arrested for child abuse and going to prison. I was on my own after that to hitchhike from place to place on my own with only God by my side. She would always degrade me and tell me that I would never be anything and that I would always be a mess up. I found that since that was always what she expected me to be, it's what I ended up living up to. I was a misunderstood teenager who found love from older guys and drugs. I was in and out of group homes and state's custody. When I was 13 years old, I thought I was in love with a man 13 years older than me. He ended up being in an abusive relationship for 8 years. When I left that relationship, I fell into another abusive relationship that lasted 10 years and resulted in the only good thing coming out of it was 2 beautiful little girls that I had no idea on how to raise. I had no parenting skills and nothing but dysfunction in my life. I knew that the abuse was no good for my children and that if I didn't get away from it fast, that I was only giving them the same childhood that I had. I contacted the Mary Parrish Center, and that's when my life and my children's life was able to start changing. This place has saved my life from not only my abuser, but from myself. Before coming here, I had no idea that I could live on my own independence. I had no idea how to raise my children or how to hold a job. I now am in weekly therapy, and I'm learning a lot of parenting skills, and me and my children are happier. I have a good job waiting for me that I'm looking forward to, and even more importantly, I have a new family at the Mary Parrish Center, the only healthy relationship that I have ever had. I know now that I can live on my own without having to endure abuse to keep a roof over my head. I'm so happy about all the changes in my life and that have already happened and all the ones to come. I do a lot of work at the Mary Parrish Center. Getting apartments ready for the next lucky lady, it's not something that I'm made to do, but it's something that I love to do. Sometimes it's hard work like moving heavy furniture or doing heavy cleaning, but at the end, when you can see the reaction on a woman's face of joy, it's well worth it. I want to thank you all for showing up today and for showing your support for a program that truly saves lives. Thank you.